Well, of course, word is that the tentative deal has been reached with the port workers and also its bosses. It was at a negotiated rate of about 60-something% of an increase in their pay. Well, as I told you, it may have been bad if the strikes happened because goods. But if the negotiations took place and they have a monster significant raise, it could hurt you just as much, if not more. Well, big box stores have warned that their prices are going to go up. Also, the fact that gas is going to go up because of the situations in the Middle East. Remember, we're living in a very unstable time. What about the fact that now supply chain issues and the fact that people are getting low of things in their own Walmarts? You can look on social media and see, toilet papers, waters, and all this stuff is leaving the shelves because of the problems with the natural disaster in North Carolina. Not only that, again, the unstableness of the world. Well, today we're going to be talking about cheap and economic canned foods that are not bad for you, but that could help you to keep your pantry stockpiled. Now, these are just simple things, but by having these canned foods, it's a game changer for you, and you're not as stressed as much. Now, we're going to be talking about 10 of them. Let's jump in the list today. Hey guys, welcome to the Max. Thank you so very much for being here today. If you are new to the channel, here press subscribe, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up. That means the world to me, and we humbly ask that you support us that way with a thumbs up. Now, today's video, we've talked, of course, prepping. We've talked about buying things, but let's just make it easy. We're living in a very volatile time. This October surprise, man, it's like surprises. We've had a lot of crazy stuff happen in our world, and not to say we have an election really less than a month, or actually a month away. The importance is this: you need to make sure that you have protection for your family. Now, we're going to go through 10 canned foods. Some of these are easy and you'll understand, but some of these are not, and you're like, oh wow, that's a good idea. Let's talk about them. Number one is going to be protein powder. Now, this comes in a plastic jug or a can of some sort, but this is something that you need to have for sure on your shelves. If you get a strong, organic, natural whey protein, then it will last on your shelves for a long time, as long as it's sealed and in a controlled environment. Now, if you're getting all this artificial flavored and all this coloring and all this junk in it, then it probably won't. Don't get the Fruity Pebbles version of protein powder, but get the simple, natural, organic versions. I like the Levels protein powder. It's basically a grass-fed whey from cattle. Very good. Actually, we make a lot of our own whey too through our freeze dryer. But you need to purchase some protein powder to put up. Protein powder is not a lot of calories, but for the amount of protein that you're getting, it's a game changer. You think about this when you're working out and exercise, but honestly, it's just good to have in your body to build protein for energy, and it's a good economic way to have a quick meal and actually be very economic for just to shake it up in a bottle with water. Not a lot of prep, but very good even in a situation where you have no power like the people of North Carolina. Pick up some powdered protein today. Check, make sure it's organic and natural. Number two is canned tuna. Now, canned tuna is a pretty easy one. Everyone tells you to buy it. The reason I'm bringing it up though is if you buy a canned tuna, you're going to have anywhere from 110 to 180, 200 calories. Not a lot of calories, but again, it usually is anywhere from 20 to 35 grams of protein. Protein is needed in our body, especially for men to perform in the ways that they need to perform. Even in a situation where catastrophe happens, you need to make sure that you have this. I love canned tuna. I have it as meals quickly, especially since I'm a carnivore. We raise all our own meats, but I always have some cans of tuna for backup, and I always have it to where if I'm on the road or not able to cook, it allows me to put it with something and eat it real quick. And it is a lot of protein. Now, don't buy the kind that's in oil. Don't buy the kinds that's the cheapest versions. They also have non-farm raised, non-GMO tuna in a can, and you may pay $1 more for it, but it is worth the value to have a quality tuna. Now, you don't want to live off tuna just like you wouldn't want to live off protein. The point of what we're talking about today, though, is it fits into a narrative of emergency preparedness and making sure you have economic ways to eat. I want you to raise all your own food and can your own food. But to be honest with you, this is a great option for you, and you need to look at it because, again, it's economic and you can buy it quickly. Did you know, though, that tuna went up about 20 to 30% over the last 2 to 3 years? it can go up again, especially with these kind of price increases across the board, because some of these things are not American raised. Some of these are overseas raised. So please pick up some tuna, make sure you have it, and it's a good thing to keep on your shelf. It lasts for a long, long time, especially if it's in water. Number 3 is canned eggs. Now this is dehydrated or freeze-dried eggs. You can buy it, I think Augustin Farm is one of the most popular brands. You can pick this up at any Walmart or any superstore, especially if it's a bigger box store. I don't imagine local groceries carry this. You can pick it up online, but this is again a good game changer because eggs are very good and healthy for you. Well, if you're not preserving eggs in another way, like how we water glass our eggs, or you're not getting fresh eggs, or you don't have a good house of chickens and hens raised, then you need to look at the next best thing, freeze-dried eggs. Again, if you have a freeze dryer, freeze-dry your own. That's what we do. But if you're wanting to buy some just to put them on the shelves, it's a great option. Now, My Patriot Supply, you know, all these different versions, Legacy, all these different, you know, freeze-dried companies that sell you preparedness food is another good option, and they sell the same thing, freeze-dried eggs. But you can usually pick these up at local Walmarts on the cooking aisle, or at least order them online. Pick this up. This is a game changer when it comes to, again, preparedness on a shelf, protein on a shelf, and a very economic meal that you can mix up with water. Not saying it's going to taste the best, not saying it's the easiest to digest sometimes, but to be honest with you, it's a way that can pack a lot of protein with just a little water and heating it up on the stove and making some eggs. We've done this, especially in the situation where you may be limited on how you cook. This is a game changer. Now, before we go any further, let's talk about safety and security. A word from our sponsor of today. Today's sponsor is Aura. How many times have you thought you're safe when it comes to locking down your home, prepping, making sure that you're doing all that you can to be safe? Well, physically that's okay, but what about digitally? We live in a technological world. Well, that's where Aura steps in. Over 2.9 billion records were stolen from the National Public Data, which offers personal information to employees, private investigators, staffing agencies, and others doing background checks. These stolen records not only have your name, they have your address, they have your phone number, they have your social security number. Think how vulnerable you are when someone steals that information from you. Guess what? All of a sudden, if Aura monitors and they find something, they let you know, they alert you to make sure you are aware of it. So you can say, okay, this is fraud or this is not. That's the benefit of a company like Aura. It gives you peace of mind to know that when you lay your head down to sleep, not only physically are you protected, but technologically and digitally, you're protected as well. There's a link in the description. If you use that link, you will get a 14-day free trial. That will be enough time for Aura to check your personal data and see if it's been compromised or not. I don't want myself or my family vulnerable whatsoever. I don't want breaches. I don't want to be unsafe. I want to know that I'm completely safe when I'm online. Check out the link below, aura.com/themax. Get your free promo 14 days so that way you can see if you have been taken advantage of or if you're vulnerable. If you are, they can help. Thanks Aura for sponsoring today's video. Now, number 4 is a super green. Now, I told you I like Brick House Nutrition. That's personally the one I like using. Caged is another one. Super greens are something like a lot of mixes of greens that people don't like to necessarily eat, and sometimes they don't have availability to. Well, when we freeze dry that, like for instance, we freeze dry a lot of our spinach and kale after winter season. We grow a lot, and all of a sudden we're like, I don't want to eat kale every meal. So if you freeze dry it, then it allows you to add it to drink smoothies. It's nutrient dense, mineral rich, and it is perfect for someone who is on the go. Mix it with some water, mix it with any food, and now you have made this small meal very vitamin rich, mineral rich, and healthy for you. Powdered super greens. Now again, we freeze dry our own, but check out companies like Brick House Nutrition. We've had Brick House Nutrition ads here. Caged, again, I'm not sponsored by any of them, but Caged is another good one. There's also other companies that do super greens. Make sure though they're American raised, non-GMO, organic, and they are flash freezed or freeze dried very quickly. That way you get all the nutrients possible. Number 4, buy some super greens. Number 5, another easy one, canned chicken. Canned chicken, again, heavy protein, not the cheapest like tuna or something like that, but it also is something that you can put on the shelf. Now, one thing that we did a few years ago, about 3 years ago, when we started, of course, we process all our own chickens. We're processing this week. You'll see a video on that probably on the Max Life, but we started canning our own chicken, which is a game changer. When you can your own meats is a huge, huge thing. But again, that takes people doing it. Now, if you find a good deal on chicken and it's at a good price and it's good raised chicken, And the best thing to do is learn how to can it, so buy canning supply. But when it comes down to saying, okay, I just need to put it on the shelf real quick, remember, Walmarts and all these groceries are crazy right now. But you need to pick up some canned chicken. Buy the sleeves of 5 to 10 different cans. Again, buy the best quality you can find. Put it up on the shelves. It lasts years. This is a great investment. Again, heavy protein, good nutrients. You can mix it with the super greens, and now you actually have a very healthy meal that you didn't even really have to heat up. You can eat it out of the can. Not saying it's the best quality meal, but if you're in a bind, grid down, or the crap hits the fan, you've got a nutrient-rich meal. Number 6 is powdered milk. You buy this in little canisters. They're sealed up. They stay on the shelves for a long time. Again, powdered milk, great protein, and has availability to add to anything to actually cook. Adds, of course, calcium, nutrients, all that good stuff. But also it gives you the balance of, like, for instance, the whey protein that's in typical protein powders. This is a way that you can put it and mix it into certain things. Like, for instance, we powder our milk, and when we powder it, we're able to then make biscuits different. We can make pancakes different. We can make all these different things, these pastries, all these cakes, anything that we're making that typically needed liquid milk that doesn't last as long. We use powdered milk, add some consistency back with water, and it's a game changer. Again, a very valuable thing to have around. Powdered milk, you can purchase it literally at Walmart. Sometimes they come in like boxes. I would challenge you, if you get them in boxes, then you need to maybe look at vacuum sealing some cans yourself, or just buy the canister versions of it, kind of like the Augustin Farms version of the eggs. Again, not sponsored by Augustin Farms or any of those, but there's a lot of companies that do it well, and you need to make sure that you are picking something to put on your shelf that's going to last a long time. Milk doesn't, so powdered milk does. Number 7 is organic fruit filling or pie filling. Now, I know you think this is crazy, but we all have sweet tooth. Even though sometimes they're not good to have, we have them. So what we do is we pick up stuff like organic pumpkin pie filling, or organic sweet potato filling, or organic apple filling. You know what's good is sometimes that sweetness and that little bit of canned fruit in this form or fashion is good for us. It gives us energy. It kind of brings up our spirits, uplifts our spirits. You know, I mean, sugar makes us feel better, even though it's not good for our bodies. It uplifts us just a little bit. So I think this is a great purchase. Pick up some organic pie filling. Make sure it's the best quality, because you can find them that's got all this artificial junk in it. And then there's some cases that have good quality fruit in it and good quality sugars in it that's not bad for you. No high fructose corn syrup. We pick up the organic pumpkin all the time. Some of the best quality things to add to, bland meals like oatmeal or like even rice, or just to simple have as a little dessert. Pick up some pie filling today. I told you I was just going to confuse you with some of those, so the pie filling is one. Number 8 is peanut butter, another great additive. Man, I am a sucker for peanut butter. That's probably not the best thing to tell you, especially because I'm on carnivore right now and I want to eat some peanut butter so bad. Buying the organic version of peanut butter, it doesn't have any additives, no palm oil, and has no sugar additive. I like Crazy Richards. I like the one I get from Azure Standards, a big container. The thing's a monster, but they're sealed off to where you don't have to open them. Now, people say peanut butter lasts only 6 months to a year. Not necessarily, and plus if you're rotating, then it's not a problem. It's out of sight, out of mind. But I think canned peanut butter is a very good additive to have for your shelves. I personally eat it all the time, especially when I'm on carnivore. It does have a lot of fat in it. It does have a lot of calories. It does have a lot of carbs, but it also has protein. So actually, a spoonful of peanut butter could actually take you far longer than a lot of other things that we have on this list, because it has just about a very balanced approach to the things that you're needing when it comes to carbs, fats, and also protein, especially if you're buying a good quality peanut butter. Number 9 is canned energy. Now that's a unique one, isn't it? Here's what I'm saying. We all need caffeine. We all need to find ways to make sure we have the best natural version of that. So I wouldn't tell you about Cokes. I wouldn't tell you about anything like that. I'm not talking about soft drinks. But I am talking about this. They sell powdered caffeine that is green tea extract. It's organic, a lot of times pre-workouts or caffeines for the day. They come in little pre-packets or they come in little canisters. Also, like for instance, I like the Zevia, which is a non-GMO green tea stevia extract drink. They sell the canisters, and they're little energy drinks that are perfect for on the go, but also for the shelf. They do cost more than a typical Coke or anything like that, but it's good quality energy from sustainable sources. So check out something like that. This may not interest you, but this could be something as simple as green tea. Putting it up and make sure that you have a way to seal that green tea up. Number 8 is some kind of canned energy, and that rolls right into number 9, which is coffee. Even if you don't like coffee, coffee does uplift us. It does help us balance out our diet. It does help us keep us our bodies regular, but it also is a natural form of caffeine. Don't buy the cheapest Folgers or Maxwell House, nothing against those, but buy, again, a better quality, higher version content of a good coffee. Now, if you buy the ones that are not ground up and things like that, remember, you got to find a way to grind up whole beans if all of a sudden power goes out or crap hits the fan. So I always tell people this: I don't like instant coffee. I like it to percolate. I want it to actually roast. I want it to taste better. But prepackaged instant coffee is not a bad thing, especially if you need to add it quickly to water, or you need to boil water and have a quick form of caffeine. It's another great option to have. Canned coffee lasts a long time, especially if it's sealed in a controlled environment. Now, number 10 is going to kind of blow you away, but it's not. Sometimes it's in glass, sometimes it's in bottles, but it's also honey. Honey is a huge part of our regimen and our health. I want to make sure that I'm putting up as much honey as I can. I'm a bee house apiary, so I raise bees. We want to get that honey off because we're getting all the nutrients, all the benefits, all the health, medicinal benefits, and we can also make herbal remedies with it. We can also make sure that we are taking things that are bland and making it good. And again, it's a very good part of our diet. Honey lasts a lifetime. It never goes bad, especially if you don't taint it with some kind of, sugar, or taint it with a bad spoon, or leave it open to animals. Honey will last forever. We have 5-gallon jugs of honey from our bees, and it never goes bad. Even if it crystallizes, heat it up a little bit, you're good to go. If it crystallizes, it's actually easier to cook with. So we were talking about that powdered milk and powdered eggs and having a crystallized honey. You can add a little water to that, and now you can make just about any kind of pastry with things that you had on your shelf that does not take a lot of water, because you have the crystallized honey and the powdered goodness. Make sure you're picking up these 10 things. These 10 things are economic. You can literally go on one Walmart run. Now remember, groceries are going to go up. They're going to steadily climb. So pick them up now, because again, this investment in food and investment in yourself is going to be a whole lot better than you putting your money anywhere else. If you go right now to a fast food joint, you're going to spend, with a family of 2, 3, 4 or more, like my family's 8, you're going to spend anywhere from $40 to $100, which is stupid. You could take that same $40 to $100 and pick up some of these or all of these for that value, and now you are literally building up the pantry of your dreams. But not only that, your survival. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helps. Sometimes I just love putting these videos out just to say, hey, these are the things that I purchase personally, or things that I grow and I make sure that it happens, like the super greens, the protein, and also the milk and eggs, all that good stuff. But if you can't do it on your farm, and you live in a subdivision, you live in a HOA, then you need to buy these things and put them in your pantry. They don't take up a lot of space. They're not really expensive right now. They went up, and they're going to continue to go up. Pick these things up. Great investments. And I hope this helps. Guys, be safe out there. Again, crazy October surprises. Remember, no matter what, your best prep is always spiritually and focusing on Christ. Guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless.